favorite detail, Kyle, did you notice that several times you can hear the fog machine pumping fog into the room? There's like at least once, if not twice, we hear...
Am I ever gonna be rich?
Wealth will not be found for you.
Hello and welcome back to the 221st episode of Good Bad or Bad Bad, the show we watch terrible movies and television too. I'm your host, Mr. Brian Shilligo. Joining me, as always, the other host, Mr. Kyle Hinton. Kyle.
Got the collar going today.
Yeah, look at you. Business cash.
Look like I'm ready for a round of golf or to be an accountant at some like
you got the team stand up later.
There we go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I once worked with a guy for 3 years and never learned his name. Best friend I ever had.
Looks good. But today, Kyle, we're talking about a film from 1997 that looks like it's from 1985.
Yes, this is
based on a movie from 1970 something.
Yes, yes,
kind of. Anyways, the movie we're talking about today, Kyle, you found this one. You introduced it.
This was sent to me. I can't remember who. I think it might have been Steve on through Patreon. And this one is Cannibal Rollerbabes.
Cannibal Rollerbabes.
Yes.
It sounds like a Scott Shaw movie.
Yes, it does.
Like right off the bat, I was like, is this a Scott Shaw or Donald G. Jackson joint? It is not.
No, surprisingly.
It is not. But yes, Cannibal Rollerbabes also sounds like a me movie, if we're being very honest. But
Cannibal Rollerbabes.
Yeah.
Our car broke down. Can you help us?
You whores!
But the thing that was cracking me up, so you sent me this, and as I started watching it, it's on YouTube, and that's the only version of it that I saw like streaming anywhere.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah,
probably for good reason.
Yeah, there may be a DVD or Blu-ray rip of it somewhere, but I didn't even see it for sale anywhere. But I saw it was 1997 on IMDb, and then I was clicking through the movie, and I was like, 1997.
Yeah, this was getting me some very kind of like Gnaw, like Food of the Gods kind of vibes.
A little bit,
at least with the quality.
Yes. Well, and I think that's the thing is that I think it came out in 1997, and it makes sense if you look at the clothes of the people in the movie. Mm-hmm. But I think they shot it on a camera, like a film camera from like 1982 or you know what I mean?
Probably.
It has the look of a camera from the 80s or 70s, but they shot on it in 1990 something, and it looks crazy. It was just not what I was expecting.
So what do you think?
Look, I know absolutely nothing about the great outdoors.
This film, break this right out of it. It's also very Canadian.
Yes,
it
is.
This is channel like the mannerisms, the way people act, even the way it was kind of shot, all has that feeling of like Ryan's Babe.
Yes, it very much has a feeling of Ryan's Babe. Absolutely.
Jeez, what a wanker.
Who cares?
I believe the director was born in Canada, and then I think his family moved to Budapest, IMDb said, and maybe was raised in Budapest. And I think his family might be Hungarian, potentially, like a traditionally, or they're ethnically Hungarian, and then were living in Canada, moved to Budapest, and then I think moved back to Canada when he made this movie or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's primarily shot in Toronto, but
yeah. But because I think that's a similar story-ish to the guy that shot Ryan's Babe. I think he lived in some like Eastern European or was from an Eastern European country or something, and then moved to Canada to make this movie. Something like that. I can't remember. Anyways, the movie opens up with a quote that is fantastic. I don't know. It's read by somebody. I don't remember who.
I have learned that we all have the same dreams for wealth, beauty, power, and acceptance.
Or it's like over the opening monologue or like the opening like shots of the movie. It's in my short time, I have learned that we all have the same dreams for wealth, beauty, power, and acceptance. The key to all of these things is found within the human body. If you have the desire to attain all of them,
all you have to do is eat.
All you have to do is eat. people. They mean eat people.
Yes,
I guess.
Yes. It sounds like some like enlightenment, self-betterment stuff. Really, they just mean consume human flesh.
Eat people. But did you notice that while this is happening, and I couldn't tell if this was an issue with like the weird version that's on YouTube or if it was
there like
intentional?
some artifacting or something like that?
There's like these very brief pop-ups for like one frame.
Oh, like a wham, pow, like
Yes.
like straight up some Batman stuff.
But it's almost like they're trying to do some weird subliminal messaging, because what those are, you see them later a little bit, which are like munch, chew. They're like comic book things except for eating people. And I'm like, are they trying to do like some weird subliminal messaging?
Do you think they got like a sales ad from like a convenience store and just spliced that in?
That's kind of what it looks like. It's so strange. I was like, what is happening here? But while this is all happening, then we see a woman walk out of a convenience store, I think with a pizza.
Yes. Yeah.
And get into a dune buggy with wearing jeans with no butt cheeks on them. Which is
it was
classic.
The 90s.
Yeah.
You know, it was a different time.
They got the under butt cut out on on both of the jeans. It's fantastic.
The other wild part is like, in another reason why it felt kind of 80s. There's some like very poofy hair in this film.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Some of it looks very 8, and that's the thing. And maybe it's because it's Canada, they're lagging behind us a little bit, and so like, because Canada's kind of downstream of American culture slightly.
Reminds me of the South Park episode, the Frozen Caveman one, where they're like, we need to send him to a spot where he can be back in time 2 years ago with the rest of his people. Iowa.
It's this place called Des Moines. It's like lost in time, see? Everybody looks like you do.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, send them to like somewhere in Canada and they're like 10 years behind current American culture. But I will say, like, some of the outfits we see on our two main characters a little bit later, like Chuck and Scott, when they first start heading up, they're wearing very late 90s clothing.
Yes.
Like, very late 90s clothing.
The only thing because I think one of them was wearing plaid, but the only thing we were truly missing was, like, acid wash jeans.
Yes. Yeah, which I think that girl technically was kind of, with the underbutt. Anyways, I don't know if it's the restaurant that woman just came out of, but we cut into, like, a diner.
Yes, and this is where our main character, Scott, is working.
Yeah, and he is like the cook there, and this random woman walks up, I think the waitress walks up and says, hey, did you hear Billy got into the academy?
Billy got accepted.
Accepted? Where?
Yes.
And I'm like, who's Billy? What's happening? And then it took me a second, because then he just punches a guy, and I was like, what is it? Like, some other guy walks up and starts causing trouble. And it's not the Billy guy, I don't think.
It's somebody's trying to be like, hey, look, you didn't get into the academy. You, Scott. That's the whole, like, kind of premise here.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
Because I think there was...
I must have missed the dialogue.
Yeah, that was a build-up, because there was a conversation with him and Chuck in the car where they were talking about...
Later, yes.
Yeah, he couldn't get into the academy.
Yes, yeah, and that, it all made sense then, but right now...
But right now, it's just like, this dude's just coming up and knocking a dude out.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening? So he punches this guy and then gets fired from his diner job.
Remember, he also punches out his boss, too.
Yes. So he punches these two guys and gets fired from his diner job. Then we cut back and see a slightly different shot, or maybe even the exact same shot of underbutt jeans lady getting in the car again. I'm like, what is... And that happens in this movie a lot, where I can't tell if they're editing mistakes.
Oh, there's definitely some... Okay, so...
Or if it's an intentional, like, doing stuff a little out of order.
Yes, they definitely did some stuff out of order. Very later on, we get into a scene where that was clearly shot at different times of day, probably different times of the year even, and they're trying to splice it together, but I'll get to that later.
Yeah, we can get to that later, because there's also a spot later where we see, like, the final shot of the movie cut into a sequence, like, earlier in the movie. It's very strange. We'll get there. Anyways, so he then goes to his friend Chuck, who is like, I don't know what he's a lawyer, or I don't know what he does. He's in some office or something, and they're chatting, and he's like, I got fired again.
He's a DJ, radio.
Oh, that's DJ. Right, he's a radio DJ. He works at the radio station. I forgot about that. So he gets. Also, the opening credits have played at this point, because they happen right after he punches out the guy, and the opening credits are all just caricatures, which is another very Ryan's Babe.
Yeah, it's a very Ryan's Babe,
because it feels like the opening or the box art. It's
like they went. It's like they went to some sort of carnival or like Six Flags or something. Yeah, and they got their characters done. It's great.
Yeah. So that, like, all of the actors have caricatures for the opening credits. It's like, okay, fine. And there's a very insane song playing.
Girls eating guys eating girls. Cannibals with a salad on the side.
That is, and there's this movie has all of its own music throughout, which is kind of, I think we'll get to, I think because they were kind of going for a different movie, which I'll get to later. Anyway, so he's talking to his friend who's a DJ, and he's like,
You seem to have a problem with authority, young man.
He got mad because the other guy got into the academy and he doesn't get in. He's super mad about it, but Chuck is like, don't worry, look, you can get into the academy you want, but like right now, let's not worry about that. I got this cabin. We're gonna go spend a week up at this cabin and like get away from it all, man. You can really like get your head straight, that kind of thing. And so they're gonna drive up to this cabin that Chuck has. And so they leave, and we see them driving up to this cabin, and apparently Chuck owns and drives an army Jeep.
Yeah, kind of.
It has the white star on the hood.
Yeah. Also, it's like insanely illegal. Like, I guess there was like,
well, it's
probably different laws and whatnot. But
it's
like,
also
there's
Canada. Who knows?
There's no like doors or anything.
No.
I don't think they're wearing seatbelts. It's the most unsafe thing you could possibly drive on the highway.
Yeah. It's also apparently like freezing. So they're like, but there's no top on it or anything. And so the whole time Scott is like, dude, it is freezing. This sucks.
Can we put the roof back on when we get to the cottage? It's freezing.
Sure.
But yeah, I was like, why is he driving an army Jeep? Whatever. So they're heading up in this army Jeep, and this is where they have the conversation where Scott's like,
That police academy, man, I've been trying to get in forever.
I don't know if I have what it takes to get into the police academy. Whatever, blah blah blah. None of that will ever matter or come back.
No.
I guess the idea that at the end of this, him saving everybody proves that he does have what it takes.
I guess
maybe.
so. It
But
would have been nice to see like him use things like that you would see from a police academy,
right,
training,
like
something
some
that.
sort of like he's like questioning people or like
restraints or like even
or just
firearm
investigating
training.
stuff. He just doesn't really do. He just kind
Yeah.
of runs in and gets captured and then is able to save the day, kind of out of pure chance. But whatever.
Yes,
we'll get to that later.
No one's cutting nothing off me.
So anyways, he gets pulled up. As they're driving, clearly driving like 3 miles an hour, by the way. You can see them driving like when they're recording. I don't know if they're being towed or like by the trailer and they're filming it. Or
they're
just,
100% being towed.
That's what it looks like. But it looks like they're going literally like 5 miles an hour. But then the next shot, they get pulled over for speeding by the police.
Yes.
So the local sheriff shows up.
Sheriff Roscoe.
Exactly. This is the Rambo First Blood.
Yeah, 100%. This is Brian Dennehy in First Blood.
He comes up with, what you two doing around here?
I think you should move on.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want guys like you in this town. Drifters.
So he gives them a ticket for speeding, and the whole time it's so awkward because you can tell he's kind of improving his dialogue. And I think the only direction that Scott and Chuck got was like, you're trying to suppress your laughter the whole time. So the whole scene, they're just like,
yeah.
As he's like, it's so weird. So they have this super awkward interaction. Then he's like, all right, but go on, have fun, just take, don't get in any trouble.
He also was kind of giving kind of early on cult vibes, kind of
a little bit like,
lines
what's
here.
going on here?
Well, you see everybody here, I treat them like my sons and daughters.
Yes.
And I better not catch you around, my sons and daughters.
I figure all these boys around here are my sons and all these girls are my daughters.
Yeah, better not see you like fighting with any of my sons or trying to like pick up any of my daughters or something like that. But then he lets them leave. And then we cut to these two women sitting on a motorcycle, and for some reason, the whole movie
these are
is
100%. Yeah, these are 100% just a couple of friends of the director or people the director knew, and they were like, "Hey, I'll put you in my film."
Yes,
because that's kind of just what the scene's for.
But why is it pink?
That's a good question.
Because it is entirely pink. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's going to be a thing where every scene where like the Cannibal Rollerbabes are in the scene, it's pink. But no, because later there's tons of scenes with them in it that is not pink. Yeah. I don't know, whatever. But it's these hot ladies with a motorcycle. And they're basically discussing that they need to eat somebody soon. It's essentially what the conversation they're having is.
I know, but I'm getting hungry. Why don't we try another spot?
Casual conversation.
They're hungry. They need to eat soon. But they come over to Chuck and Scott's car and they're like, hey, we should, hang out. And Scott is down. Scott's like, yes, please. Because that's kind of how Chuck pitched the whole trip to him. He's like, we'll go up there and meet some
go
hot
meet
babes.
some babes, have fun.
Exactly. But now Chuck is like, no, we need to go unpack. And he's like, oh, okay, sure. So they leave and go home. And good for them because they don't get eaten yet.
Yeah.
Yet. So they get back home. Or they're not back home. They get to the cabin that they're staying at. And they want to go fishing.
Yeah, it's just, okay. So, look, I understand it's a different time. But you could not have this guy be any more of a 40-year-old man right now. Wanting to go fishing.
Yeah, he's like, I want to get some fishing in before we unpack. Yeah. He's like, it's time to get some fishing in.
Hey, do you mind if we do a little fishing before we settle in?
I was going to suggest the same thing.
Right.
So he goes, Scott, I can never remember which one's which. Scott is our main character. Yeah. He goes down to go fishing. And this scene is insane, Kyle. What is supposed to be happening here? He's fishing. And then he stares into the water.
And then sees a woman in a room. Like they have some sort of it's like a psychic link or something.
I assume that's what's happening.
That's like the only way I can describe it.
That's got to be what's happening. But the way they shoot it and edit it almost makes it seem like he's seeing it in the water or something. Yeah. And you're like, what? But I think you're right. It's supposed to be like they're psychically linked, but that's not the way it comes across in the movie.
I'll just put in the transition from the lake to the room. It's insane.
You're like, what? Well, and then later he's telling Scott about this, or Chuck about this, and he's like, hey, so I saw this woman down by the lake. Her name was Anna.
She appeared out of nowhere. She was like no girl I've ever seen.
She appeared out of nowhere. I'm like, did she? Where was she? She was in a room in the lake.
At some point, you have to be thinking, maybe I'm hallucinating.
Yeah, it's so weird. Anyways, so... he's like, okay, so I saw this girl Anna, she's trapped in a room. I'm losing my mind. Meanwhile, we cut to Atman, who is our main villain.
This guy is wild.
He's a mad scientist.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is. Is it early on?
This is the first time we're introduced to this is the first time where he introduces. He's like, good women of whatever the name of this island is awake, and they all wake up.
Good women of Stray Man awake.
And he's like,
oh, Somerset Isle.
Yeah,
right?
Somerset. Yeah, exactly. Awake or whatever. And he is roller skating.
Yes.
For some reason.
It's Cannibal Rollerbabes. Yeah, so people got to be rollerblading.
Everybody's rollerblading
There's a point where Scott and Chuck are rollerblading.
Yeah, well, but the thing that was driving me crazy is why is the villain and all of his hench ladies on rollerblades or roller skates?
This is 100% that Scott Shaw.
Yes, but they're only on rollerblades and roller skates inside his compound, and then every time they leave, they can't be in roller skates because they're running around in the fucking woods, Kyle. So what's the point of the rollerblades? So stupid.
So, yes.
Oh my God. Anyways, he has them all wake up and he's like, hey,
our guest has escaped.
Some guy escaped. You got to go get him. And they're like, okay, yes, master, or whatever. So we have this mad scientist who seemingly can control women somehow.
I think everybody.
Everybody, yeah. And we'll find out later he must have some sort of little chip. We see them we never see what it is or what it looks like, but we see them do something to their neck to take control of them or whatever. But they're all on roller skates and he's like, this is what I'm talking about. He's like, you must go get that guy. And they're like, yes. And they rollerblade out of the shot. Yes. And then we cut to the woods and they're all barefoot running through the woods. And it's like, what's the point?
Yes.
What's the point? Anyway, so they capture this guy who's been running away through the woods, and they grab him. I don't even remember what his name is, or it doesn't really matter.
He's just there to be like, this is the threat.
Yes, this is what they think, and they chomp him. They chew on his neck. They grab him in the lake, and they chew on his neck, and he dies, I guess. I don't know. Who cares? Anyways, cut back to Scott and Chuck are hanging out doing something. I think they're on the boat. They're cruising around on the boat. And we get like a 45-second shot of them just driving the boat across the lake because they're trying to fill time in this movie. But I love they get there and they're fishing. And again, Scott keeps complaining about how cold it is.
Pass the sunscreen, I'm burning up here.
Would you stop your complaining?
And I'm like, oh, you know why? Because they filmed this. They wanted to rent a cabin and a boat and stuff to film this movie, but they wanted to do it as cheaply as possible. So they did it in the off season. So they did it in the winter when it's like 50, 40 degrees. Yeah, it's very cold outside. But they're filming this at like a lake resort. So they're just freezing their ass off the entire time. But while they're on the lake, Chuck, they see some building. And Chuck is like, oh, yeah, that was a testing facility.
Yes.
Okay, sure, some old testing facility. And we'll find out later what that is.
Some research company built a lab there in the 60s?
Yeah?
Then, that night, they're going out. So they go to the bar. They roll into this bar. They call it a honky tonk.
Yes.
They roll into this bar. And while they're there, they see this guy in the corner. I can't remember his name.
It was a Strider.
Exactly. But it's something with an S, I think. It is like Salazar or something like that.
That's Kaplan. He owns just about everything there is around these parts.
And he's like a local big shot who made a bunch of money at some point, and now all the ladies are in love with them. And he's like sitting there and he's just covered in ladies. And the thing that was crazy to me, Kyle, is that this movie will, and I think it's a joke. This movie will set up a payoff that I didn't realize was a payoff, where later...
That's the best kind. Where
yeah.
They wait for a punchline and you don't realize it's there.
Yeah, because we get to a moment later where Dr. Atman, the evil villain who sometimes
wears glasses
or the
mask.
Wears this purple mask. And he has this moment later in the movie where he pulls the mask off to our main character and he's like, you're him?
And you couldn't figure out who that was.
Kaplan.
It's so obviously the same guy. It's
like his mask is like the equivalent of like Clark Kent glasses.
Yes, it's so insane. And I couldn't tell if that was intentionally a joke or not, like that he didn't realize it was the same guy. Well, because it got me to the point where they're having the mask thing where I'm like, are these supposed to be two different characters? Like, what is happening? It's just like a bad setup and payoff, I guess, whatever.
What's the matter? Couldn't you get laid when you were a geek in a lab coat?
While they're at the bar and they see this guy, the lady from the lake, the lady in the lake strolls in. Anna, she like walks in and just kind of stands there for a minute. And he's like, hey, that's the lady from the lake. Nothing really happens. It doesn't really like.
No, it's I guess like from the story thing, it's supposed to be like the intrigue that keeps Scott's attention.
Yes, yeah. They get back home that night, and while he's sitting there, and he almost looked at this earlier, but when they were fishing earlier, he caught a wine bottle, which I thought was full of wine initially.
No,
and I thought he was going to drink
message, it. Literally a message in a bottle.
It is, yeah. So it's a message in a bottle. But when because he's looking at it before they go to the bar, and he's looking at it, I thought he was gonna drink it after they pulled it out of that lake. I was like, God, no, don't do that. But he was gonna read it. He didn't. He reads it now, and the note is like, hey, my name's whatever, Roger or something. I'm trapped on this island. There are people eating people here, or something like that. And you're like, wait, okay, what?
I was lured to this place by beauty, and I am now trapped and surrounded by terror. People eating people.
So he says there are people eating people, and he's stranded on this island. So Scott the next day is like, well, I got to go tell the sheriff. So he goes to the sheriff's office, where we're introduced to one of my favorite characters in the movie, absurdly sexy assistant for no reason.
Yeah, like
who's
switch
just
operator or whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's just like answers the phone. She's like the secretary or whatever at the police station, but she's just like dressed like a porn star in every scene she's in for some reason. And it's just
maybe that's just what it was like in Canada back in the 90s, Brian.
Maybe. But this first scene, she's wearing like a very short skirt with like with like tights on underneath, and we get a shot of her bending over the desk and you can see her ass. I'm like, what is this is a police station, what is happening? And anyway, so he's talking to her, and then she goes in and lets him talk to the sheriff, who doesn't believe him. He's like,
hey, just forget about it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's a tourist trap. They're trying to, it's our version of the Loch Ness Monster, basically, is what he's saying. It's like people just say that to try to drum up attention for the town or whatever.
It's a tourist trap, son. I see these things all the time.
So we cut back to the island.
What a marketing plan. It's like, hey, you can go watch like Lake Champlain, you can go watch Ogopogo. Or you can come watch some cannibalism.
Cannibal Island. We got Cannibal Island. What about Cannibal Island? Yeah. But back on Cannibal Island, Anna gets drugged before Atman is his name, the mad scientist, with his harem of women who are around him, including Spike, who we haven't really talked about, who's the main one. I think she was the one butt jeans girl from earlier. I'm pretty sure that was Spike. But he's like chastising her for leaving the island and going to see Scott, because like he saw her at the bar, obviously.
And I think this is where he whips out the control device for the first time.
Yeah, he pulls out his remote control that has a little spinny antenna on it.
So ridiculous.
And he dials it, and this is when we see, he has some sort of mind control device.
If you would have told me it's like, this also detects ghosts, I would have been like, sure.
Yeah, sure, man, whatever. Also, the whole time I couldn't help but think that he looked like a Tim Heidecker character.
Yes. I don't know why. The entire time I saw him on aside from the fact that he's kind of ripped, just as a mad scientist, he would kind of remind me of Bruce Payne a little bit.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, again, we're just setting up that he has this mind control device. Cut to our guys decide to leave the police station and go to some psychic that's down the street.
Yes.
Chuck is like, it'll be fun. Let's go see this psychic. They cut to the psychic room, and it's the most blue, smoky room that has ever existed in a movie. And my favorite detail, Kyle, did you notice that several times you can hear the fog machine pumping fog into the room? There's like at least once, if not twice, we hear...
Am I ever gonna be rich?
Wealth will not be found for you.
In the background. It was so
where do you think they got the fog machine? There's only one place that we would have got it back in the day.
Yeah, back then, Johnny Brock's Dungeon or whatever the Canada version
Spencer's Gift.
Yeah, whatever I don't know what the Canadians had for Halloween stores. What's your version of Spirit Halloween or Johnny Brock's Dungeon or whatever? I don't know. But oh my god, it was cracking me up where you can hear the fog machine running. But she tells them, I can see some stuff or whatever. She plays with a bowl of dry ice in front of them and then tells them to go to the island, basically. Like there's something on the island that you seek or whatever. Then we cut to the next day and our heroes, as you mentioned, are rollerblading, baby, because it's the 90s and we gotta have rollerblading in our movie.
Does anybody remember Brink?
Exactly. Fucking Brink. There's constantly, and in a lot of the movie, there's like background music that's very annoying, but in so many scenes it doesn't make sense. Like in this rollerblading scene, there's like constant indigenous drumming in the background for some reason.
And then
I don't know, Chuck. Whatever you say.
Like in scenes where we're like supposed to have like thrill, like tense stuff going on. Like, the heroes in peril or something like that. They have like some goofy music going on.
Welcome, my friend.
It's like, what is, and again, I'll just say it now. I think what this movie is trying to be is Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
It's very much like these two people going on a trip, end up in this place run by this wacky mad scientist who's doing sex things. Like that's the, like the broad idea, but also like, and the costumes are crazy. Like we see numerous times he wears like these striped bike shorts that just show off his balls.
Or he's just like wearing just like an apron shirtless.
Yes, like an apron shirtless. Again, I think they're going for like, it's it's weird and sexy like Rocky Horror Picture Show or whatever. But it doesn't work. So he gets attacked in the middle of the day in this park by the evil Dr. Mad Scientist guy who shows up for the first time wearing his dumb purple mask, carrying a machete, and he attacks him with a machete. And Kyle, I don't understand what happened here. He's like holding the machete, and then he just drops it for some reason, and they get into a fist fight. I don't know why he drops the machete. It doesn't make any. See if you, when you're editing this, go back and see.
Yeah, I will definitely look.
I swear he just drops it for no reason.
I'm sure this might have been a situation where they just did this in 2 separate days of filming, or maybe 3.
Yeah,
and they just didn't have people available to get certain shots.
Yeah, I also think that this is a pickup shot because we'll get to it later. I think this was added later. I think this was like a reshoot basically because we'll get to it later. Because I'll just say now when they meet at the castle for the first time, or later when he's like when Scott's breaking into the castle, he's like,
"So you're the psycho I've heard so much about."
Oh my god! So you must be the crazy guy that everybody's been talking about. I'm like, you just met him. He just attacked you in the park like a day ago. What is happening? So I was like, oh, they didn't film the park scene. They added that park scene in after the fact, after they shot all.
They're probably trying to fill time. So.
Yeah, that's my guess.
This is far from over, stranger. I'll be back for you soon enough.
Anyways, and it's some of the worst choreography that you will ever see this fist fight because they just like slow-mo punching each other. It's insane. Meanwhile, Chuck bumps in. He's rollerblading. He bumps into the hot girls from the other day again.
And this time, Scott's not there to be like, hey, let's go unpack instead.
Yeah, and so they knock him unconscious and take him back to the castle or whatever. Then Scott is able to get away, so he goes back to the sheriff's office. And again, the sheriff's assistant, once again, wearing the most insane outfit. She's wearing like a green crop top thing that I'm like, what is this? What is happening? Anyways, and he goes to the sheriff's assistant, or he goes to the sheriff and is like talking to him. And she's like, he's not here. He's out investigating something. And so he goes and finds him at this beach or something like that. And the sheriff is there and he's like, I got something I want to show you. I really shouldn't be showing you this. those lines are right next to it.
Yeah.
It is, I got something I want to show you. I really shouldn't be showing you this.
I got something I want to show you. I really shouldn't be showing you this.
But the sheriff found, I think, a jawbone? He holds up a bone of some sort. I think it's some human bone. I think it might have been a jawbone. It was hard to tell on the quality of the YouTube video.
I mean, it's basically at like, what, 320p or something like that?
It's very tough to tell what some of the details are. And as they're chit-chatting, he's like, yeah, somebody died. I found this and he says, it's Roger, whatever. It's the guy.
Oh, yeah, the guy from earlier.
The note you found.
Yeah.
You got it. Roger Taurus.
So he's like, something's going on. But then, as he's talking to him, and this made no sense to me, Atman rolls up in a limousine.
Yes. And this is he's there is he the mayor as well?
Maybe.
Something. He's like, this is him in his role as some sort of high figure in the society.
Right, yes. Yeah. So okay, I guess that makes more sense then, because I was very confused about what was going on in the scene, because he comes up, and the sheriff was like, just 2 seconds ago, was like, something's going on here. We got this, we found the bone of the guy of the note you found, like, I think there's something going on. And then Atman calls him over and is like, talking to him, and basically says, hey, you need to cover this up.
Well, my God, man. Clean it up.
Make this disappear. And he seems fully on board with that. When I was like, okay, so is he in this guy's pocket when literally 2 seconds ago he thought he not be in this guy's pocket?
Controlled everybody to a degree. Maybe just like influence.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Also, one of my favorite things about Dr. Atman, or whatever the character's name is that he really loves saying, my God, man. He says, my God, man, at least like 4 times in this movie. It's fantastic.
No, sir.
Well, my God, man, get him out of here.
My God, man. Anyway, so he's got them all on the take. He's, he can control the sheriff or whatever. So none of this is going to get sorted out. So Chuck is gone, missing at this point. Scott is standing alone on his patio at the cabin playing an arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
Grilling.
And also the audio is really weird here.
Also,
like,
the audio, there's like no audio.
Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe there was copyrighted music that got removed.
I think so
or something.
too, but I think so. This may have been an early cut of the film before they had they could put in that stuff.
Either that or they removed
after
input. Yeah. Whatever. So, but my favorite thing is I'm like, so there's this northern Canadian cabin has an arcade cabinet outside.
Yeah.
Like, why would you? Seems like a terrible idea. But he's also grilling. Also, there's a TV propped on the railing of the cabin facing out.
Yes.
I was like, what is happening here? This is the weirdest.
It was designed for the shot with no other thought in mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's so strange. I was like, what is happening? But anyways, he's like, okay. He then, I guess he has the brain blast. Like, I got to go to the island. That's where Chuck's got to be. That's where everything's going down. I got to go to the island.
I know I have my best thinking when I'm playing Galaga.
Yeah. So he goes to the island, and Kyle, he meets a fucking elf.
He does. He meets an elf.
Why? What?
This was reminding me of, I'm not sure. There was this rocker from like the 80s in called Gawain in Canada,
okay,
who had like this series of like spiritualist medieval kind of things with his music videos. I'll throw one in.
Okay.
It's pretty wild.
Interesting.
But it just reminds me of that.
Yeah.
You're a strange animal, I got to follow.
Yeah, it's so, I was like, why is there an elf? And so this elf, I think, was one of the guys on the, we will find out later that Dr. Atman has captured and brings people to his island. The women he mind controls and turns into like sex slaves. The men he mind controls and turns into what he calls centurions. He also like castrates them.
Yes.
Seemingly.
Men are taken to a special place where he frees them of their lust.
And I think the elf man is one of them that got away or got banished or something. I don't.
If this was following some sort of mythology, he would have been like a satyr or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's so, I don't understand at all what is happening here. But the elf man also thinks that the island is all there is, because like Scott's like, well, I came from outside the island. And he's like, what? There's nothing but death out there. And he's like, what? What are you talking about?
I just realized this mic's in a really bad position for me.
That's fine. It'll be fine.
There we go.
And he thinks Atman is God. This elf man thinks like Atman is God. Like,
He
okay,
is,
sure.
he is the provider.
Atman is very dangerous and very powerful. He can control your mind.
They then hide from the Centurions in like his little tree hut or whatever, and they have this moment where the elf man says Scott needs, he's like, you need this power to reach Atman.
On this island, you will need this power.
And then I don't know what he does or what power he gives him, because he like touches him with a stick, and Atman just kind of like looks up for a second, but there's no like glowing or magic effect, and it's never explained what he did. And I'm thinking maybe he didn't do anything. I don't know. It doesn't.
This scene with this character feels so far out of everything else. The film.
It's insane. I don't know why it's there. Then, meanwhile, our main characters are his castle is like a Ren Fair castle. I think I'm pretty sure that whatever, like you said this is filmed near Toronto, like whatever the Toronto Ren Fair is, they have this castle and they're using it to film this because they drive a fucking dune buggy out of a castle, and I was like, what is happening?
That's great. That's
What
great.
is
There's also
happening?
like a sound stage as well, like an actual like filming sound stage,
Yeah.
or maybe like a theatrical like fly space area, or an area that would have like all that stuff.
Yeah.
This whole place is very manufactured.
It's so strange. So then he basically tells his centurions that they need to capture him, but then he goes and he gets all of his women in line, Dr. Atman does, and he says, if the centurions fail, you'll have to find this intruder yourself, talking about Scott. But as he's delivering that line, for some reason, and for the only time in the movie, he breaks the fourth wall and stares right down the barrel of the camera as he's doing it. And I was like, what is happening? Why? I don't understand.
You will be called to my service. Be prepared.
So, and that's right. That's the thing that cracked me up. They have one, because this movie was made without a script, it feels like, they have one scene where Dr. Atman is talking to his women and he's like,
if the Centurions do not retrieve them, you will be called to my service.
If the Centurions fail, you will have to go find this intruder. Literally cut, next scene. The Centurions failed. You have to go find this intruder.
We couldn't get those actors to come back.
It's like, what are we doing?
They have failed.
Well, they beat up the Centurions. They are able to defeat them by like pushing them kind of hard and getting away. So anyways, he immediately knows they failed, sends out the Cannibal Rollerbabes after him, and then Oh, and then we get this weird scene where Spike is like pissed off at him. We try to develop Atman's character the tiniest bit here, where Spike, like his main roller babe or whatever, comes up to him and is like, "Don't you remember how things used to be?"
I remember back to the time when I was the only woman you desired.
It was just the two of us, and like we were together, and like she's like lamenting that he has become this monster
he's become who is it in the original Wicker Man?
Oh, I don't know.
Like the Lord of Somerset or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the original.
Anyways, it's like that, which I think it's played by like Christopher Lee as well.
Yes,
yeah.
I believe it is Christopher Lee. Yeah. But yeah, but she's like mad. Like she's like, oh, what if it was just us?
Can we just go back to when it was just me and you instead of you becoming like a cannibalistic overlord?
Harem, who has a mind controlled cannibal harem. Back when things were simple.
I live for you.
You still do.
And I'm like, what? Okay, sure. So Scott comes sneaking up to the castle. Immediately gets captured.
Yes,
like
immediately.
As soon as he walks up,
rolled a 1 on his stealth check.
Yeah, and this is the scene I was talking about where they grab him and the evil guy, the mad scientist, comes out wearing the purple mask.
Yes, this is also the scene where clearly none of this was shot at the same time.
Oh yes,
because like the first shot I think of Atman is like even at like evening where there's still like light out.
Yeah,
and then the reverse shot we have of Scott on the ground. It's clearly nighttime.
yeah, exactly.
And it was also shot in such a way as you could just have stand-ins for either character.
Yes, but this is the line where he's like, "So you're the psycho I've heard so much about." I was like, "Yeah, he attacked you with a machete yesterday.
Yes, this guy that you met previously.
Literally yesterday, he attacked you with a machete, man. What are you talking about?"
So you're the psycho I've heard so much about.
But another thing I noticed in this moment that would make sense with both the camera and with why there's constant background music blaring over everything in this scene, I think in one of the at least a couple of the shots, we're using the actual audio recorded in the scene, and I'm pretty sure you can hear the film camera
cranking.
I'm pretty
It's a feast I'm sure you will enjoy.
Sure, and
Nice.
So I think that is kind of subtly in the background of a lot of the shots, and they tried to cover it up with like constant music in the background, which would also make sense that the camera looks like it does, like the quality of the camera looks like it does. Yeah, it's a very old film camera. Anyways, they grab him, they take him inside, and then they throw him in the room with Anna, which seems like a terrible idea. Like, because that's who he was coming.
Also, they're like Atman's the only person who is allowed to mate with the harem, and they're like, oh, by the way, this guy who's not castrated, I'm just gonna throw you in there.
And then give them a love potion. You intentionally get them to get together.
Because they're also like, he wants to see how you perform
before he castrates you. Why? I don't understand. What? Okay, sure.
He probably wants to see you perform.
So he throws him in the room and gives him a love potion.
And then we get 4
hold on. Did you notice
minutes.
the love potion, though, real quick, before we get that? Did you notice the love potion, also 4 minutes is fucking underselling it like crazy. But when she pours the love potion in the initial shot where he pours it in, they're holding champagne flutes. And then when they get to the room and she's giving them the love potion, they're in like brandy snifters. You couldn't keep the same glasses between those shots.
No, because they were shot different days.
Oh my god!
But yeah, no, this insanely long. I thought it was 4 minutes. It's clearly longer.
Like 7 minutes long.
Just
dude.
love making scene.
But it gets by. You know how it gets by on YouTube because the quality is so bad, but 2, it's covered in so much pink light that you can't even tell what is like nudity and what isn't.
Yes.
It's all just one big pink like blur.
This could have been like in Akira where he starts like amalgamate, like he becomes the flesh piece. There would be no difference.
Oh my god. It's literally like a 6-minute sex scene cut to also shots of Scott just wandering through the woods for some reason, interspersed with the sex scene. I do not understand why. Also, the ballad during this scene is fucking incredible. Play them a little bit of that tasty music, Kyle. It's fantastic.
Last night when I lost control, I had to let you see inside my soul.
Then, and this is during that sex scene, this is where I was talking about, we see a quick shot of him and Anna running out of the castle towards the dune buggy. And I was like, what was that?
Yeah, what is this?
Spoilers, it's the final shot of the movie.
Yes.
Why is that? Okay, sure, whatever. I guess the idea is some weird thing of like, love conquers time, and so like as they're in their love making, we're seeing glimpses of their future that could be, Kyle.
I also couldn't tell, like, are they it's not like they're trying to meet time at this point, because like it doesn't even meet 1:30. I think the film's like 1:27.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know why there's this 6-minute long sex scene that isn't even. Again, most of it's not even the sex scene. It's not even there for like horniness reasons necessarily.
No,
because it's not even that revealing. Like you see her boobs a little bit, but it's not even particularly like, salacious. And it's mostly just Scott wandering through the woods, and you're like, okay, well, whatever. Meanwhile, right after that finishes, we cut to a scene, and I don't understand what's happening here. It is an all-black room, and Atman is sitting at an car racing cabinet.
Yeah, what is this? This was like some id type shit.
What is happening here? And Spike walks up and sits down next to him and starts like, oh, she says interesting, or he says interesting. Somebody says interesting in a way that makes no sense.
Interesting.
And she just starts like touching him and like wanting to, I guess, like have sex with him. And he's like, no, leave me alone.
No, I must beat my Ridge Racer score.
Exactly. He's like, I'm busy, but he's not doing anything. He's not even playing the game. He's just sitting there, and it won't end. It goes on. I cannot stress, it goes on forever.
The scene, the action in which that takes up the end of this film is like maybe a minute at most.
Yes. And it just, every scene is drawn out as long as physically possible. It's crazy. Anyway, so he's like, haha. Or she's like, they just have like, we're just trying to establish any sort of like characterization of him as the villain and like her. But you know what is dumb? What would make sense? It feels like they're setting up her betraying him, but she doesn't betray him, right?
No. If anything, she helps him out at the end there.
Wait, I don't remember.
Betraying Scott, you mean?
No, betraying Atman.
Oh, but Atman?
Does she betray
she does,
Atman?
because I think she's the one who gets the device closer to his hand.
Okay, well then kudos. Well done, movie. I missed that shot where she helps him, because that actually makes sense of setting this all up of like
somebody moved the device close enough to where he could grab it.
That would make sense then. These scenes make a little more sense of setting up her displeasure.
If you give the film more credit than it actually has.
No, I think that actually makes sense. I missed that she helped him at the end. I must have been looking away or writing a note or whatever. Anyways, we then get the reveal that's not a reveal scene where he rips his mask off.
Egad.
And Scott's like, oh my God, it's you.
Kaplan.
I should have known.
And I'm like, yeah, man, clearly.
Wasn't that dramatic? No, I kind of knew.
Yeah. Also, right after that, Scott just completely biffs his line and they leave it in the movie.
Yes.
He just stops halfway through and
restarts
the line.
It's great.
Couldn't you get laid when you were a geek in a lab coat? So you decided to violate everyone instead?
They just leave it in. Then they have like a feast. They have like a big feast scene. This is where he does the reveals, during the big feast. They sit down and they're also pumping way too much fog into this room, where there's like a shot of Atman. You can barely see him. There's so much fog in the room. But they sit down to have this feast. And then there's just like 20 seconds of them eating in silence for some reason. It's so strange. Then they leave and they take Scott to go see Chuck.
Yes,
and
who's in the deep freeze.
He's dead, hung on a meat hook in the deep freeze. And they're eating pieces of him.
Yes, and this is where Atman also reveals, yes, the power of the human flesh has allowed my women to remain youthful and strong.
Yeah.
It gives my women their beauty.
Yes, exactly. So that's the secret to his magic island is cannibalism. Sure, whatever. Chuck is dead. Oh no, that's sad. Then they put a mind control chip on Scott, but it just doesn't work. He just doesn't. Because they put it on him,
and Atman activates it. He's like, you have a stronger will than most.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, fuck it. I don't submit.
He has a stronger will than I thought.
to you.
And then he immediately books it.
Yeah.
He just runs.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Or
okay.
Atman does. He runs away from Scott.
Yeah, and then we just get the world's most boring fight while a song called Catfish Fishing plays over the whole fucking thing.
Catfish fishing. Catfish fishing.
It's like, what is happening?
Oh, God.
But they fight. They have like the world's most boring fist fight forever in the dining room or whatever. And then, like you said, Spike, I guess, hands him the remote, and he grabs
impales the antenna through his brain.
Eat this.
Which is pretty cool, to be fair. He impales him with the antenna, kills him, and then we just get the shot that we saw from earlier of him escaping with everybody.
With everybody in the buggy, yeah.
They're just like, well, we're out.
That's it.
It's like, oh.
Everything turned out great for everyone except Chuck.
Except for Chuck. Fuck Chuck, I guess. Straight Rocky Horror Picture Show's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. There's definitely some kooky stuff in here, but not enough.
No, it's too boring. Too boring for most of it. There have some moments, but you can also tell like I said, they're going for comedy at times in a way that just doesn't work. Yep. It's not quite entertaining enough. I'm gonna have to go bad, unfortunately.
I'm gonna have to agree with that one. Yeah.
Kyle, as always, our viewers can do us a giant favor by heading over to patreon.com/GBorBB. Support us there, get access to bonus content, all kinds of fun stuff. This month you can hear us talk about Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
Got a video
marketing campaigns from the 90s.
Got a video about Crystal Pepsi if you want interested in that. Go check that out.
We've decided it's time to make one thing perfectly clear. It's Crystal Pepsi.
As well as we did an AMA podcast last month. If you want to go listen to that, we answer a bunch of questions, all kinds of fun stuff like that. Go check it out on Patreon. You can also buy our merch, tpublic.com. All of these links are in the descriptions. I have a podcast called This Film that we're talking about movies that are based on books. And this episode's out. Our most recent episode will have been The School for Good and Evil, which is
I have no clue what that is.
Yeah, I had not heard of it. It is it's like a kids book series about the villains from fairy tales and the heroes like go to a school for that. It kind of sounds like The Descendants or something a little bit.
Okay.
Anyways, they made a Netflix movie a couple of years ago with like an insane cast. It's got like Michelle Yeoh and Kate Blanchett and all these people in it, but it's supposed to be very bad. So
yeah, I can imagine.
Directed by Paul Feig. Anyways, that's our most recent episode. We haven't recorded yet, but when you're watching this, that will be that. I think that's it. Until next time, keep watching movies.
Just not,
unfortunately,
Cannibal Rollerbabes.
Cannibal.
Great title, horrible film.
Yeah, there you go. You nailed it.